The second question is about self-love. What is self-love and how to learn it?
Self-love. We all understand this term, whereas it is a bit critical because the term love means truly loving an other person. The love is the connection to another person. So there is a discussion in personology, in philosophy, if we can really speak about self-love, or is it something like relationship to oneself, or self-acceptance, or self-appreciation, etc. In psychology, the term self-love is often used, uh, especially by those psychologists who are not so much in philosophy, and to make something clear to our clients and patients, because all know about the importance of love. All people want to be loved, and it's we experience ourselves from time to time that I have to do with myself, that I am in a relationship with myself, with my body, with my feelings, with my attitudes, and with my ideologies and belief and experience and biography and history and future and all that, so that we can apply with a certain psychological right, apply the term love also for this accepting, open, warm, close relationship to myself. So, having given this introductory remark, we now have a bit described what we mean when we speak about self-love. Being in a good, warm, felt, positive, fostering, appreciating, close relationship to myself, to my body, that I care for my body, that I care for my health, that I care for good food and enough sleep and sports and movements, and that for my psyche, that I care for my drives and needs, and that I take them and understand them as being helpful for a good life and for securing life, and that I uh, that I appreciate the contribution which comes from my psychic needs and drives, and deal with them and take them seriously, and, and that with myself, with me as a person, that I respect what is my inner felt sense, my uh, gut feeling telling me what I feel, that something is uh, resonating, correct, harmonizing, uh, when I feel it important to me and to my life, that I take it seriously and that I try to live according to this. This all means self-love, and that I look forward to the future, that I see I can become um, creative and productive for a good future, that then my life has a meaning because I feel that I'm good for something. When I follow these dimensions of my existence and live them and realize them, then I'm practicing self-love. Then I live with inner consent. This is the closest way how we can practice self-love. Inner consent is this combination of all four dimensions of existence, of my body and my acceptance of my reality, and letting things be and starting to improve them and to change them to a better, to see life with its values and feelings and to accept them and to live them and to see the potential in them, with also with their limitations. The body with its limitations, all has also limitations, but all has a core value in it. And the third dimension, to be with myself, with what is important for me, with what I feel to be correct and significant and resonating with me, and that I do not give up myself, but follow what I see to be important, and to see where I can become fruitful and constructive and to contribute in that. This is living self-love. And how can I learn this? I can learn this by looking at and taking very seriously, do I have and feel an inner yes to what I do? And if I don't feel an inner yes, if I don't have a good resonance, if I don't have the feeling, this is totally corresponding, congruent with myself, corresponding to me and the situation. If I don't have that feeling, to stop, to look, to check, to prove, and look, what should be changed? What should I do differently? Should I be here in this situation at all? Should I continue this, what I do? Do I do it in the right way? So am I in the right place? Am I in the right context at all? Is the fourth dimension. Does it correspond to me? Do I feel that this is correct what I do? That I do it responsibly and in an engaged and committed way? This corresponds to the third dimension. Do I feel the value in it? Do I um, feel the value which attracts me, which makes it so important for me, which corresponds to the second. And then the first, do I feel that I'm able to do that? Do I feel my power, my energy for that? Or am I going too far? Do I demand too far from myself? And all is combined, is converted in this final central activity to check, do I feel inner consent, inner yes? This must be a felt yes to what I do. And this can be trained. We have it sometimes more, sometimes less. We have it sometimes more in the background of our consciousness, and sometimes we repress it, and sometimes we are not sensitive enough to check it. But make us aware that this is the central key to a fulfilling existence, that I am sensitive and open to this felt yes. And if I do not feel an inner yes, this inner, I can do it, I like to do it, it has a value, I feel the value. If I wouldn't do that, it would be a pity. If I feel that this corresponds to me, that it is correct, that it's allowed, that I may do it, because it's so correct and important, corresponding to the situation, to myself. And then the fourth, that I feel that I should do that. But if I do it, this promises me that something good will come out. I have all the hope that it will convert into a bigger value, in a bigger context. When I have this inner felt yes, then I leave my love to myself. And then I can focus it, because in a loving relationship, the loving relationship is dominated by a close closeness to myself, by a close relationship, by a, which produces a good feeling. So loving myself has a central focus in looking at, do I feel myself? Do I can I accept what I feel? Can I be close to myself and to behave in a way that I want to be close to myself? When I when I make garbage, when I make myself guilty, then I do things where I'm not proud of myself, where I'm not happy about myself. Then I distance myself from myself. This is not a loving behavior. Then I'm not loving myself. I may be fulfilling some job which gives me a lot of money, or I'm doing uh, uh, some calming of my drives and doing sex or whatever. Or I'm shouting to somebody, I'm reacting, or whatever, I'm defending myself. This may all happen, but these are not expressions of self-love. Self-love means I behave in a way that I want to be with myself, that I can be close to myself, that I see myself and can appreciate myself and can say, yeah, that's the way I am and I want to be. And that is great. And this greatness is in each of us. But not every day and not in every situation we can live according to this greatness. But we can train it and can learn it and thus we can enlarge our self-love and contribute to a better life of ourselves and with ourselves, with people around us, with whom we work, with whom we live. Then self-love leads into a love of other people and comes into a good resonance with the other people. And so we can even, in a good self-love, in this existential understanding of self-love, we are not egoistic. We are transcending ourselves, stepping over our boundaries towards the other, and are able to be with the other and to see the other and to come into a resonance with the other. And this inner resonance with the other, this getting feelings for the other and wanting to be with the other, to have closeness, to have talks, to try to understand the other, to help the other. This is love for the other. So without love for the other, we can never live good and full self-love. Without love for myself, love in this understanding how I explained it, we cannot come to a real love of the other. Both are shrinked and belong together. It is, ultimately speaking, the creative ground for being. Love, in love we are creative and we feel the ground of being with myself and being with yourself. Thank you.
Thank you for this philosophy of good life with world.